Disclaimer. The comments made in this video are intended solely for entertainment purposes and are not intended to harm or offend anyone.
From a repeat DWI offender seeking a second chance.
One of the main factors is your prior criminal history. Your history is thick.
To another threatening his ex-wife's family with violence.
The defendant then began to threaten the complainant by saying, "You don't want none, I'll kill you."
These 6 cases show Judge Fleischer keeping criminals in check with firm orders and zero tolerance for excuses. Starting with Mr. Bell, facing charges for driving while intoxicated and is attempting to clear his name through a pretrial intervention. However, he has a much more serious criminal record.
Maybe I'm overdoing it, but the state has offered me time served or probation. I'm trying to get a PTI, and I need to get Nathan Beadle a package.
Yeah, but we've been working on it for quite a while.
Okay.
Is Mr. Bell here?
Yes, he's present.
Has he completed the package yet?
No.
Come up, Mr. Bell. I got to imagine that you've asked him several times to complete it.
Yeah, it's on me this time. Over. He was waiting on my call, and I just got extremely busy. The state deal offered me probation or time served.
Okay. We'll give you another 2 weeks, but at that point, if it's not done, I'm going to hold him day for day until it gets done. Mr. Bell, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Shh. They have a program called pretrial intervention, where if you are granted entry into and you complete it successfully, the DWI gets dismissed.
Yes, sir.
However, one of the main factors is your prior criminal history. Your history is thick, it's significant. So I will tell you, it's never a no, but the more history you have, the harder it is. But like anything in life, if you put your heart and soul into it, you're going to get the moon, sun, stars. So the better your packet, the more likelihood you have of getting into the program. If you bring stuff on a bar napkin with your criminal history, it's going to be a no. So do a kick-ass package, and then you have a better chance of getting in.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Your case is old, so we will give you 2 weeks. If you have it done, if you have it turned in by the next 2 weeks, we'll set you for an evaluation. If you don't have it done, you're out of time.
Make it happen, Your Honor.
Okay? Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Given his troubling history, it's clear this man isn't treating this situation with the seriousness it deserves. Judge Fleischer showed remarkable leniency by offering him a second chance. Perhaps a day for jail time will finally help him gain the perspective he needs to change his ways and leave behind a life of crime. While Mr. Bell was given another shot to change, here's a far different case. Mr. Gendo is facing a felony charge, and to worsen his situation, he kept going back to his old habits even after being given several chances to stay clean outside. Now, he's asking for a chance to stay out with his sister, claiming to change.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween. I liked it. It looks good. I have a Javier Gallendo on docket. And if you remember the last time you took him in custody and wanted me to check with his sister, and I had a lengthy conversation with his sister. Everything's good. He can go live with her. She's a teacher, and then she's also getting her master's to become a principal now, and she's pretty
That's great.
Yeah. So he's in custody. I was going to see if we can get him on a PR bond.
I don't know, man. I don't.
I think last time you indicated that you'd let him out. That's why you wanted me to contact his sister and see if he had a place to go.
She will take him?
Yes.
How do we get him to stop using?
She told me that he's not, she has keeps pretty good tabs on him.
She can hold him?
Well,
if he's can you bring out Mr. Gallendo?
and he really has, he's like a different person now from that.
Is he clean?
Yes. And so,
Don must admit.
yeah, I
You know?
don't think so. Yeah, that was probably no fun.
His audacity to even ask for another chance is crazy. I don't think Judge Fleischer would fall for his crappy words this time.
Bill.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me while we're waiting.
Mayor Gonzalez, his mom, dad, and sister are all here in person today.
I'm happy to talk to him.
Yeah, I was going to ask, we were talking about the bond. I know the court will do a PR bond, but I was going to ask for a reduction.
Are you mom and dad and everyone? Is that you? Okay, let me talk to this gentleman and then we'll talk to you. Good morning, Mr. Galindo. How are you? You look great. You know, you sound good. You're coherent. You're not jittery like you were when you came here last time.
Oh, I know. I know.
So Hugh wants me to let you out. Looks like you've got a place to stay with. Shh. Looks like you've got a place to stay with your sister. My only worry is that if we let you out, you're going to go back to doing right what you're doing, using. And I don't want that to happen. I know you're going to tell me no.
Oh, yes.
Right. You've told me that before.
You know, giving these addicts repeated chances is just like enabling the same behavior, and that's completely not safe at all. This guy is a threat to himself, so listening to his empty words is just a waste of time.
Right. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. How do we get it to stop? Therein lies the rub. I don't want to keep you, but I know if I release you, you're going to go back to using, and you're going to use grandma as
Oh,
the
no.
excuse.
That was just,
Perhaps it's another excuse. Perhaps it's
damn.
saw Bambi and, you know, you're upset at the movie. Did we have MT RAST? What did it recommend?
SATF followed by anger management and defeat ratings.
That's what needs to happen. I think that with what you're using, the frequency of what you're using, the best course of action is a treatment facility. Because we let you out, you're gonna end up killing yourself. And believe it or not, I really like you. I want you to persevere, and I want you to become the great person that you can be, Javier. You know, I think that that's probably the wisest choice, to get him into a treatment facility. You know, I know that you want to get him out.
Yes, I'm just
Done
wondering.
this before.
Yes, but yeah, it's all pre-trial, so I don't know. I mean, is that something he can do pre-trial, or, I mean, can he do outpatient, or?
I can't pay for anything. The only way I can pay for everything is if he's in there. If I let him out, he doesn't have a job, doesn't have a, you know, anything. He's going to be unable to pay for anything. So therein lies the excuse. Well, I can't get it done. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no job. And then it spirals into the same thing. I don't know, Hugh. I don't. I think that the best course of action is to get you into a treatment facility, Mr. Gaid.
I'll stay with my sister. I don't drink over there. I don't do nothing. I'm staying with my sister. She's a teacher. She don't let me drink. She don't let me do nothing.
She,
Nobody is falling for your empty words, young man. Pick yourself up and go for treatment. I mean, if he wants to stop, he'd take responsibility and not want to manipulate the system to get his way out.
As if you're going to listen to her.
Yes, of course I listen to her. She's all I have. I listen to whatever she says. I babysit her son.
it seems,
Living before.
I wasn't with her. I wasn't staying with her.
Living.
Just being bad. I don't. And friends, whoever. With friends.
Street.
Yeah. But I'm with my sister now.
she seems like she has a pretty tight grip on him.
She
From
does.
speaking with her.
You could get her number.
Discovery's outstanding.
Your Honor, it looks like everything's uploaded and shared with the defense.
And we can set the case for trial. There's a felony that's attached to this, but I'm okay with setting it for a trial date.
Okay. I am too.
Okay.
That way, if it goes, you know, if it goes well for him, he's out. If it doesn't, I know what I'm gonna do. which is what I think needs to happen regardless. Because if we let him loose on the street, he's just going to use. And we've done this game before. I've let him out before, and he goes right back to using.
He's only bond forfeited once in your court. I know one time's too many, but I know that it's not like he's been a recurring issue. This is the only time that he's had an issue with this, with the drug testing.
Let me think about that.
All right, Mr. Gendo, like this one.
He had enough chances to prove he can stay clean, so I feel he should go for treatment. Unlike Mr. Gendo's case, Judge Fleischer is faced with another criminal, Mr. Gold, who's facing charges for driving while drunk with multiple felonies.
Well, and he's not allowed to, so he can't drink any alcohol as well, so the father has bond conditions? He's legally allowed to have a beer and go driving if he's under the limit. He has a normal use of the mental and physical faculties.
Get it, but
now he's going to have restrictions on him, and he doesn't have.
I want to make sure that Mr. Newell's not driving. I mean, have you seen the record? We have a death last year. 2 assaults, and now we have a DWI second. I told him that if he's proactive with showing me that he's tackling everything in a mature and adult way, then we can talk about bond conditions in the future. But it seems that with the wake of destruction that he's left with the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, it's really concerning.
The fact that this man killed someone and still didn't learn from his past mistake is completely outrageous, and asking for a lesser bond is disgusting.
And I feel that he's deteriorating before our eyes, and I don't want it to happen anymore. And my fear is that something happens catastrophic. He gets into a car and just takes off and does something that's just, you can't dig yourself out of. That's all. That's my fear, and I don't want it to happen.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Gold, we'll talk in a couple months. If he's doing well, proactive, come back and we can talk.
With a criminal record like this, he's not even worth listening to. I mean, he's a danger to everyone around him, so the best he can do is follow the judge's order.
So the conditions are staying.
I
mean, you see my concern that it's now impacting his father since it's not his cars. I understand your concern, obviously, Judge. I just have to advocate for my client, and his father doesn't even have conditions.
I'm not begrudging you for it, Mr. Gold. I never will.
At this point, Judge Fleischer is already pissed. We all know he doesn't tolerate behaviors like this, and right now, he just wants to do everything to ensure the public is safe.
The question, Your Honor, though, is does he need a second interlock now? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to pay for everything for you, okay? So that it's nothing out of your guys' pocket, okay? Just make sure he's not driving. He signed an affidavit not to drive. If he drives, I can have a contempt hearing, and he's facing 6 months every time he drives. So please, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you. If you ever need anything, come back to us, talk to us. We're happy to help you in any way and anything you need, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, happy Halloween.
Thank you. Are you excused?
There is no crime Judge Fleischer hasn't seen, from reckless drunk drivers who never want to change, but rather always come up with an excuse. So we know he can see through these criminals and always has his way of dealing with them, just like these two men, Mr. Rico and Mr. Dell.
Okay, so we've got Rico Romero.
Okay, yo lo voy a traducir con español, todo en español, ¿ok? Todo en español, ¿ok? Entonces, todo en español.
Okay, guys.
And then Idelce.
Sí. Stay. Yes.
Yes. Sí, señor.
Order in the court for the pleas.
Both of you gentlemen are charged with driving while intoxicated cases.
Claro, los dos.
Both of you guys have worked out agreements.
Llegaron a un acuerdo con el Estado.
Cases will now reflect as convictions on your
Y
record.
que pasaron su récord.
Mr. Idelce, you need to understand that this is a
Entender.
DWI second offense.
Una vez que usted
If you ever get pulled over and you have the faintest smell of alcohol or dope on your breath,
su aliento,
what is going to happen to you?
lo que va a pasar con usted.
Pues se me deporta, porque no tengo.
I want to be deported because I don't have papers.
That's one of the things, perhaps,
Una
yes.
cosa que le puede pasar, sí.
But first, you're looking at a prison sentence of a minimum of 2 years, a maximum of 10 years.
Pasa por un mínimo de 2 años.
From now on, if you pick up another DWI, you will not be with me. You will end up in felony court.
I think the fact that he has not faced a very long jail time makes it hard for this man to realize how dangerous his reckless attitude is. Left to me, he shouldn't be getting this chance. What do you think?
Felonía ahí arriba.
A very lengthy.
Sorry, dígale, perdón, ya.
I want to tell you, I'm sorry that I am sorry.
Perdón.
Sorries don't matter to me.
Okay.
What matters is that it doesn't happen again. And I'm just warning you that if it does, you will now be in felony court. So if I were you, even if you have a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car because you're taking a humongous risk. The same applies to you, Mr. Rico Romero. You now have this DWI going on your record as well. If you ever get into a car and smell like alcohol or dope, likewise, you will end up going back to jail. He has 2 FSRAs upstairs. What's going on with that? 5 years?
It's annoying hearing these empty apologies from these criminals. I mean, actions speak louder. I am very sure the worst mistake these two will make is driving while drunk again after Judge Fleischer's warning.
2 years? Are they second degrees?
No, charges like the hybrids, 2 to 5. It wasn't
Oh,
serious.
it's a hybrid one.
That's why I feel comfortable doing this. I mean, it's the minimum.
If you're going to get into a car and maim and destroy other people, please don't. You have a DWI, you've got 2 failure to stop and render aids, where you've created a ton of damage. Don't. How is that fair? All we want are our streets to be safe. Your sentence is 3 days in jail with credit for the 4 days that you've done. You're giving up, both of you guys are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You could be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this.
As expected, no criminal behavior goes unpunished here.
Now, you, Mr. Rico Romero, it looks like after these cases, you still have to deal with the felony cases. And then after that, it looks like you also have an immigration detainer as well.
How do
you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty.
¿Cómo se declara borracho? ¿Culpable o no culpable? ¿Culpable o no culpable? Guilty.
Find you guilty. I'm going to suspend your driving privilege for 1 year. Do not drive. And please, don't kill anyone.
Anyone who can go as far as driving while drunk without thinking about people's lives shouldn't be allowed on the road in the first place. So I feel he even got a light sentence.
Mr. Idelce, you've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 365 days in jail to be probated for 18 months. As part of the probation, you will do a repeat offender DWI education class. You will do 2 victim impact panels. No drugs, no alcohol. No breath test refusal. So if you are pulled over in a car, you must, and an officer asks you to submit to a breath test, you must submit to a breath test. If you don't, you are in violation of this probation. You must also do 5 days in jail as a condition of this probation. This is to begin tomorrow.
Yes.
Do you want him to hear or report? Okay. By 6 p.m. You must report by 6 p.m. to the 701 San Jacinto. If you fail to report, if you fail, sorry,
I will show it to him what to report.
we give him paperwork too, Mr. No, don't have to. But I want you to understand that if you are someone who is repeatedly late, they're not going to take you. And if they don't take you, the full range of punishment is available to you.
I'm gonna be there at 6 p.m.
I would be there before.
Yo diría que estuviera
Before.
Sí, okay.
4 o'clock. I'll be there.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you plead to the offense of
Te
driving?
declaras la ofensa de
Second
manera
offense,
totalmente
guilty
intoxicado,
or
culpable
not
o no
guilty?
culpable. Guilty.
He also has a felony case, Mr. Newell. Is that
Aquí
one
tenemos
you
una
dismissed?
felonía,
Sí, sí.
pero la felonía se lo quitaron.
Let me make one thing clear to you.
Eso es algo claro.
How old are you?
¿Qué edad tiene usted, señor?
45 años.
45.
You are not a spring chicken.
Es un niño, porque ya no son niños
You
ustedes.
don't look like you're in the best of shape. If you're doing that kind of dope, it's going to ravage your body and you'll likely end up dead.
Eso es verdad.
So 45-year-olds can't be using the dope that 18-year-olds do.
Usando esa clase de drogas.
Get my drift?
¿Me entiendes?
Sí.
We don't want to see you in a pine box.
Pero usted conserva una cara de-
What about the DPS fines and fees and surcharges, Mr. Newell?
The fact that he's not even a teen but chooses to live his life like this is disgusting.
Mr. Idelsa, what do you do for a living?
Bravo usted, señor.
Trabajo medio tiempo a veces de construcción,
Construction,
de,
half-time.
de construcción y a veces tengo mi esposa que tengo que mantener.
And then I have to take care of my wife.
¿Ya?
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
De construcción, pero no trabajo mucho, medio tiempo.
Just give him a long
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
$300 por semana.
Yeah, the six.
Solamente no me le preguntan, nada más conteste.
Just have him do that. All right. We wish you the best of luck, gentlemen. I am suspending your license for a year.
Año
Do
tiene
not
tres-
drive until you get a license, Mr. Idelsa. And good luck to you, gentlemen. Oh, enhancements, I'm sorry. No more. Sorry. Mr. Idelsa, is it true that you had a prior DWI in 22 in our court?
El 22 es cierto que usted tuvo otro DWI aquí en esta corte.
Sí,
Yes.
Is it true that you also had a 0.15 or
Sí,
above in
sí,
this
sí.
case?
5 usted tenía con de alcohol.
imagino que sí.
Yes, ahí más.
Is it also true that you had an open
Cierto.
container in this case as well?
Se llama un contenedor abierto con el carro cuando lo pararon.
Contenedor como...
Como cerveza o algo
Had
abierto.
Oh, sí, 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 sí.
Yes.
sí.
Yes.
Tell you now, Mr. Idelsa, that you
Yes,
will be
yeah.
required to pay the DPS fines and fees and surcharges that are now $6,000 to pay. I will give you time to pay it, but if you don't pay it, a warrant will issue. And for every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail.
Dar tiempo de.
Do you understand?
¿Qué dice usted?
Pero no tengo como...
We will put you on a payment plan for 2 years and you will be required to pay it.
Dice que le van a dar plan de pago.
I will waive the court costs, but with the DPS fines, you're going to have to pay that.
Se llaman los costos de la corte, pero eso es una multa del Estado, de DPS. Ahí le van a dar.
Now, this case would make you question why an adult would choose to do drugs knowing fully well that he was ruining his future with a bad record, just like Mr. Wakefield here, facing charges for possession of marijuana.
The Wakefield,
When is he going in? He's right now?
I guess we'll send him to 49? Or,
You want him to determine right now or at 6?
no, right now.
He's prepared to go right now if you want to
Okay,
give him
no,
till
we'll do,
6.
no, we'll do it now.
Okay.
I don't want him to not turn in. Because then it'll go sideways real quick. Mr. Wakefield, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to a year, up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine due to the amount. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail credit for the, well,
4 days?
4 days credit that you've already done. Understand that this charge will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? Not only, do you have a job? What do you do in life? Dude, it's not funny. You're using all kinds of dope. You've got no job. What the hell are you going to be doing in 30 years from today, man?
This guy is a good example of a wasted youth. I mean, why on earth would he be laughing about a serious charge like this? That's outrageous. He needs therapy, not just punishment alone.
You know, you're going to end up on the street, jobless, prospectless, ain't got no money. Where are you going in life, man? It's not a good way to be in life. I know that you like to have fun. I know that you like to party, but you got to think about your future. Because if not, and your mom and dad are not going to be here forever. Your auntie, your uncle, they're not going to be here forever. And if you don't have them in your life and you got no job, you got no money, you're on the street begging, either that or you're going to be slinging. You get caught up in that. You're either dead or with a 40-year sentence. How old are you? Have you ever had a full-time job. Doing what?
At Chevron in Lake Charles. I was a pipe fitter.
You were a pipe fitter, for real. So why stop? And?
So you can work this comp.
So it's easier to just get workers' comp and do nothing, I guess, right?
Nah, I just never went back, like reapply after.
Okay. You have to do something in your life, Mr. Wakefield, because if you don't, you're going to end up in jail with a lengthy sentence or on the street. That's not a good way. You work hard now, so you set yourself up for the future, so you can have vacations. You can buy nice cars the legitimate way. What you're doing now, it sucks. Just bottom line, it's not a good way to go through life, man.
It's clear Judge Fleischer couldn't help but feel bad for him and the lifestyle he chose to live. Do you think advice like this works on people like him?
Judge, while he's in custody, I can have a max social worker talk to him about options.
That'd be great. Dude, pipe fitting, if you get a trade like that, you can kill it, man. Making 20 to 30 bucks an hour. Holy you can buy a Benz, man. You can, with that kind of money, you can kill it. What you're doing now, it sucks. It sucks. And I don't even know how you're getting your money to the dope. Anyways, you got to be getting it from somehow. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. The reason I'm telling you this, Mr. Wakefield, is because your demeanor and the way you act when you come in here, you think it's a joke. And what I'm trying to tell you is that your future should mean something. We have enough brown and black people in custody as it is. Your life is hard enough as it is, being a black and brown person in society. It doesn't get easier the older you get. It gets harder. You get fatter. You get uglier. You lose hair. The older you get, the more unemployable you get. So if you don't set yourself up now, you're going to be nothing in 20 years. Do something, Mr. Wakefield. Don't become a statistic. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty, sentence you to the agreement. I will roll your court costs. One more thing. I'm done with catch and release. So if you continue to come back with criminal cases, what we're doing today, the plead on the spot, be done. It's not going to work. Do you understand? If you come back, it's not going to go well. Good luck, Mr. Wakefield.
I think he's already another statistic in the making. Judge Fleischer is not going to let him out freely. This man doesn't deserve a second chance with that nonchalant attitude of his. While Mr. Wakefield is facing charges for drug possession, this last case here is focused on Mr. Henderson facing charges for making multiple threat calls to his ex-wife's new partner, a serious offense with up to a year of jail time.
Good morning, Mr. Henderson. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat. This is a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On August 23rd, 2024, the witness, the defendant's girlfriend, began receiving multiple phone calls from the defendant, who is, I apologize, the witness's ex-husband. The witness stated that the calls came around 21:30 hours on August 23rd, 2024, and observed the phone calls to be coming from both the defendant's phone number and from a no-caller ID number. The complainant answered the phone and advised the defendant to leave them alone. However, the defendant began to argue with the complainant.
This man's outrageous behavior is enough to drive anyone crazy.
The witness then grabbed her phone and began recording the conversation as it had become more aggressive. The defendant then began to threaten the complainant by saying, "You don't want none, I'll kill you, your wife and all your kids and your stepkids. Play with me, I'll kill you and your stepkids. Play with me, bitch." Based on the previous incident between the witness and the defendant, the complainant feels these threats to be credible and fears for his life.
This man is not a kid, and this attitude he just displayed shouldn't be ignored. He's capable of anything. I mean, what kind of person thinks it's okay to harass, threaten, and intimidate others over a failed relationship?
The officer was able to speak with the defendant regarding the case, who declined to provide any comment.
So who is Simeon Sims? Who is that?
The new boyfriend of ex-wife.
Mr. Henderson, I don't want you to have any contact with this person. Do you understand? I'm ordering you not to have any contact and not to be in possession of weapons. As long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine. If I find that you become a danger to the community, I'm just going to lock you up. You will not get any more car bonds.
Sure.
You understand? Okay.
Well, as expected, Judge Fleischer made sure he was prohibited from having any contact with the victim, and the worst he would do to himself is ignore these orders.
So you have a lawyer. Good job on having a lawyer. Because you have one, I will waive your appearance, but it's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Adams. He will tell you when you have to go back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm not asking much here.
Yes, sir.
Just want a safe community. That's all I want.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and you'll be free to go. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. You too.